Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the Helicute H820HW Petrel drone. This drone has altitude hold, 720p HD Wi-Fi streaming. It has headless mode, one key return, auto takeoff, auto land, and a slew of other neat features. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this cool white rectangular box showing the drone here in the front and all its features here at the bottom, such as one key return, auto hover, altitude hold, 6-axis gyro, and so on and so forth. Talks about the camera there. Here on the side we have some QR codes. Here on the back mentions the auto hover, and we have the black version of this shown from Helicute. And here at the bottom of the box right here, apparently there's a few options for this. There's an H820H, probably height hold. This is probably one with the camera. This is the one with the Wi-Fi streaming, which I believe we have. Yep, it's checked off. And then there's the 0.3 megapixel standard resolution one, or the 720p HD one. And as you can see, we have the Wi-Fi streaming with 720p checked. And as you can see, there's a black and a white version, and we have the white version checked. So those are the different configurations you can get of this. So now, without further ado, let's open her up and check out what's inside. Let's see here. Right away, there's the instructions. Let's pull this out. So that's that. Right in here we have the instruction manuals. Pretty detailed and well laid out. And right here we have the plastic mold with the quadcopter right there. And then we have the transmitter, spare propeller, screwdriver, charger, and propeller guards. So let's organize all this and take a final look at the contents of the box. So here's what's inside the box. We have the drone itself. It's 3.7 volt, 750 milliamp LiPo battery. Its charger, screwdriver, spare propellers, propeller guards, instruction manuals, and transmitter. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a really sharp looking, cool drone here. It says Petrel right there at the top, and it has its on-off button right here. This is a brushed motor quadcopter, but it's very agile and fast. Right here at the front, you could see its 720p HD wide angle lens camera. Now there is a 0.3 megapixel standard resolution version of this, but this one is the 2 megapixel 720p version. So this is how the camera looks like. And very cool design. There is a black version of this. And here are the plastic landing legs, and they are very bright when the drone is on. So very bright lights, excellent lights for night flying or for orientation. So a lot of fun if you fly this in the early evening. Right here at the back, you have its SD card slot right there, and you can record directly onto the SD card even without using the app, just hitting the record button on the transmitter. And very well constructed, a good weight to it, kind of on the light side, but it handles wind very well. And right here is its battery bay. So let's open that up. And here you plug in its battery. Now let's take a closer look here at the battery. Here's the battery right here. It's a 750 milliamp 3.7 volt LiPo battery. And the cool thing is it has this pretty standard connector right here. So what you can do is you can use these Sky Viper batteries, these 3.7 volt 850 milliamp LiPo batteries from Sky Viper. It's another 100 milliamp more than the stock battery, and it does give it a little more flight time, and you can use the chargers interchangeably. You could use a Sky Viper charger or the charger that comes with this, which is basically this standard charger that has a red light when it's charging, and then it turns green once it's done charging. And the charge time is about an hour to 90 minutes. And with this battery, the stock battery, the 750 milliamp, you do get about 8 to 9 minutes worth of flight time. But if you use this Sky Viper battery, which you can find at your local Target or Walmart, you get like, I think I got over 11 minutes with this. So that's really cool. Now, one note about this, you can mainly use just the 850 milliamp one, because they do have this battery in 1200 milliamp, and unfortunately that's too big for this compartment here. So I've tried using the larger 1200 milliamp LiPo on here, and it doesn't fit. Now you could probably do a trick and then maybe have it rubber band it here on the bottom, or tape it to the bottom and maybe do a trick. But if you want to get it somewhat comfortably in there and close the latch, this is about as far as you can go. And even using this one, you kind of have to wedge it in there quite a bit in order to close the door, but it is possible. So this is a neat little trick with the battery. And then of course this one fits in very well. So, but unfortunately the bay doesn't give extra room for, you know, too much of a bigger battery. I would say maybe just an 850, maybe a 900 milliamp battery, but it doesn't give you a lot of room to put maybe those 1000 or 1200 milliamp LiPo batteries. But in any case, very good flight time, even with the stock battery. And an overall just a neat looking quadcopter, very strong, powerful motors, flies very smooth, and just an overall neat little package. So now let's take a closer look at the transmitter and check it out. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very comfortable gamepad type of transmitter. It does take 4 AAA batteries right here, 4 AAAs, and you would need a screwdriver to screw on and off the lid, as well as the screwdriver would be used to change the propellers. But in any case, this takes 4 AAA batteries. Going over the controls a bit with this transmitter, we have our left throttle stick and right rudder stick, and each of these sticks also acts as a button. So if you push down the left throttle stick, that's essentially your rates. So once will be slow with 1 beep, then there's 2 beeps, and then 3 beeps, which would be the fastest rate. And on the right stick, if you push that in, you'll hear a sequence of beeps, which means you're ready for a flip. And then you move that throttle stick in any direction to make the drone flip in that direction. Next, we have these arrow buttons here, and these are all directional trims, for the exception of these 2 buttons here. And these 2 buttons here on the left, this one on the top here is your headless mode, and this one right here is your 1-key return. And so that's essentially it. You have your on-off switch here at the bottom here, and right here at the top you have 2 buttons. Essentially, this button here on the right is your camera and video button. So you short press it for a picture and long press it to take a video, and you will see the results of that with this red light. So a quick press will take a picture, and you'll see this light flash on and off, meaning you took a picture. And if you keep it pressed, you'll start recording video, and you'll see this red light remain on, meaning that you're recording. And then to turn off, you have to long press in order for this light to shut off, meaning that you're no longer recording. And then last but not least, this left top button here is like an auto takeoff, auto land in a sense. If you push it, it'll turn on the motors. If you push it while in flight, it will do a soft landing. And if you keep it pressed for about 3 seconds, it's an emergency shut off and will shut off the motors. So that's essentially the transmitter. One other note here, it has its foldable clip here, so you can put your Wi-Fi device in there, and it's built in. And it is pretty spacious for a large device, but unfortunately I don't think it's enough for a tablet, but for a large phone it should do fine. So now let's set this up for a first-time flight and take a closer look at the app. Setting this up for an initial first flight, once fully charged batteries have been inserted in both the transmitter and drone, you can proceed by first turning on the drone here at the top. So you would push that button, and once you do that, you should see blinking lights. Now you would turn on the transmitter here at the bottom by putting on that switch there. And now you've got to bind the transmitter with the drone. So you would push up and down on the left throttle stick. And once that's done, the drone should be bound and the lights should be solid. Now, a recommended first step is to calibrate all the gyros and sensors. And basically there's two calibrations. One is by putting both the left throttle stick and right rudder stick to the lower right-hand corner. And another one is putting both of them to the lower left-hand corner. And each time you should see the lights blink for a few seconds. So let's try first the lower left-hand corner. The lower right-hand corner. So let's do that. And so that's done. And now the lower left-hand corner. And that's done. And you should notice that there was different sequences of blinking, but now everything should be fully calibrated. So now let's connect to the Wi-Fi and the app, and let's take a look at that. Once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you would look for this entry here called Helicute 720p- and a serial number. Now, if you do have the standard version of this, it might not have the 720p, it'll just be Helicute. So, but once you find the Helicute entry in your Wi-Fi settings, connect to that. And initially there is no Wi-Fi password or anything to that effect. So you would connect to that, and then you would launch its app, which is this one right here called the Helicute 720p, and it's kind of orange. Now, there is an app depending on the version you are running. So if you are running the 0.3 megapixel standard resolution version, there is a different app, which is it's just called Helicute, and I believe it has a white icon. But in this case, we have the 720p camera, and so we are using the Helicute 720p app that is orange, and they have this in both the Android and iOS app stores. So we would launch this icon there, and initially we're greeted with this app here, Helicute, and here are some standard settings here on the left. You have certain save parameters, 720p preview. You can mark the altitude hold, so if you fly this using the mobile app, the joysticks will be in altitude hold mode, and you can fly this completely using the app. The transmitter is optional, so once you bind to the Wi-Fi without turning on the transmitter, you can fly this with just the app. And here in the center we have some instructions, an explanation of what all the icons mean in the app. And right here, this is the main one you want to go in, which is play. And right away you should see the live stream. And now the range of both the transmitter control and FPV Wi-Fi is about 60 to 100 meters. So basically the 200 to 300 feet range. And going over the app pretty quickly here, you've got this icon here to take you back to the main menu, this one to take pictures, this one to take video, this one to view your video and photo gallery. This one applies to the rates if you are using the virtual controls. So here you would activate your virtual controls, and since in the settings we had the altitude hold on, this is spring loaded. But if you turn that option off, this will be at the bottom. And here you could change your rates. Right here you can do your 360 flips, your auto takeoff, auto land, your trims. This is the waypoint mode where you can draw a pattern and it will fly in that pattern. This is to turn on and off the virtual controls in case you want to fly just FPV. Here you could reverse the video feed and put it upside down. Here you can split the screen if you want to put these in Wi-Fi cellular goggles and fly this FPV. Here is your gyro calibration, and right here is your headless mode. So that's essentially all the controls there. And so now we're ready. We've calibrated everything. Everything's been bound. We have the app running. You may want to insert an SD card if you want to record higher quality footage. And so now we're all set for a flight. This is a really neat, cool flyer, and it takes very good footage. So let's check it out.